So you guys do a podcasting segment? The one Blogs with Balls that I don't go to, you do a podcasting segment? I'm Dan Levy. I do On the DL podcast. For those of you who probably have heard of it, but no longer listen to it, so I thank all of you for that. It's interesting. I wish I was there, and I wanted to sort of throw up a little video here to say I wish I was there. This is the first one that I'll be missing. I was tangentially affiliated with at least the second one, somewhat the first one, moderating, and then obviously the poker tournament in Vegas, which I hope we're doing again. I don't know if they're announcing the next one, but I already have a poker tournament set up, so people better show up for next year in Vegas. But I wish I was in Chicago. Obviously, I wasn't able to go because we have a 7-week-old bald fat guy crying upstairs, probably right now. So let's make this brief. I want to say I hope everybody's having a good time. And just one little brief thing about podcasting. I made the joke probably at the last Blogs with Balls or somewhere around that time that 2010 is going to be the year of the podcast. And I'm looking down, pardon my eyes, the Basketball Jones. So J.E. Skeets, who's the gold standard of podcasts, is talking on this panel. Jay Busby. And then a bunch of people from mainstream media. Maybe I was right. Maybe this is the year of the podcast, considering, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. Yahoo is the mainstreamiest of the mainstream media, and the Score is, I would think, Canada's version of the mainstreamiest of the mainstream media. The only guy on this whole panel who's not a mainstream media person is Matt Seebeck, who clearly has mainstream hair. So in that case, I guess everybody's mainstream. So it's heartwarming to me to see that something that, geez, we've been doing for however many years, everybody's lapped us, which I'm okay with because, well, I'm not really okay with it all. It actually pisses me off a great deal, so I hope people come back and listen to our show. But people have lapped us, and people have done an amazing job with podcasts, and it's a really cool thing to see the industry changing and how not only sort of ubiquitous the podcasting world has been, but how serious people are taking it, both in producing stuff and in listening to stuff. And the reason I said it was the year of the podcast was because people didn't really take blogs seriously in 2005, 6, and 7, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh my god, blogs are part of media. So are podcasts, and it's pretty cool that there's some guys from SI and ESPN and major newspapers and whatnot being a part of this. Again, I wish I was there. Could I go off on a rant now? I probably won't do that. I should not do that. I will not do that. There's gnats around my head. I have gnats. I will say this. I wish that I would have gotten to Josh Circle sooner so he could have dressed up like Virgil for the $1 Million Man. Everybody have fun. One more thing. Kevin K-Duck from Yahoo's Big League Stew. He and I have a bet for the Stanley Cup Finals where if the Blackhawks win, I have to give him tasty cakes, and if the Flyers win, he has to send me Eli's cheesecake. So my thought was that I was going to get in touch with Enrico from 700 level, who nearby, and just hand him a case full of tasty cakes and say, just bring these on the plane with you. It probably costs more money actually to do it that way than to just ship it. But nonetheless, give those to K-Duck because I thought this might not be a series. But all of a sudden, K-Duck, all of a sudden, if you want to hand Enrico a cheesecake, I'll even let him eat half of it, just on principle. He can eat half, and then he can bring the other half to me because it looks like you might be sending me cheesecake. At the very least, it's a fun series. Again, I wish I was out there to trash talk with you. I thank everybody for the little indulgence here. And again, have fun tonight. That's it. I wish I was more professional at this. Maybe I should do this for a living.